Good afternoon. 1, 2, even
Yeah, we got it.
Welcome to the May 23rd meeting. Wendy?
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Sparta Board of Education has caused notice of the time and place of this meeting to be published in the New Jersey Herald, the Star Ledger, tapintosparta.net, and notice of the meeting has been posted on the Sparta Township School District website.
No, I'll take one. Thank you. Will you roll call, Jim?
Ms. Collier?
Here.
Ms. Gagnon?
Present.
Ms. McMichael?
Here.
Mr. Paleschi?
Here.
Ms. Seelander?
Here.
Ms. Serafino?
Here.
Dr. Serrano? Mr. Wood?
Here.
Mr. Morris?
Here. We all rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, at this time we're going to convene into closed session where we are going to discuss superintendent's evaluation, personnel matters, legal, and a HIB appeal. Motion to go into closed session. Thank you, Craig. Second, Wendy. All in favor?
Aye.
Again, sorry for the delay. Joanne, roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Here.
Ms. Gagnon,
Present.
Ms. McMichael,
Here.
Mr. Pleshy,
Here.
Ms. Seelander,
Here.
Ms. Serafino,
Here.
Dr. Serrano, Mr. Wood,
Here.
Mr. Morris.
Here. Okay, we're going to start with the student representative reports.
Okay, so we are still selling the Sparta blankets online. You can reach out to the high school for Mrs. DeLucia, and she will get you a blanket. Our new student council officers have been selected, and they will be attending the June meeting. We also have the upcoming senior walk on June 11th. This is going to be, and then it's going to be followed by a field day, and that's just to give the seniors something special to make up for all that we missed out with 8th grade due to COVID.
Now getting on to some recent sports accomplishments. First off, the Sparta High School boys lacrosse has recently won the Hunterdon Warren Sussex County Lacrosse Tournament with a 9-4 win over Pope John in the championship game, and has also received the number 2 seed in the Group 2 North States bracket, and the girls having received the number 3 seed in the Group 2 North States bracket. Both teams have won their first game and are advancing to the next round. An exciting shout out to Claire Center, who actually just got a hole-in-one on a par 3 at Lake Mara Country Club yesterday for the golf team.
Ooh, nice. Is that all you have for us?
That is all.
Okay, very informative. I get a motion to approve the minutes. Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Sir?
Yep. And I would like to begin by actually just adding to Parker's report. Parker, we are fortunate enough to have Parker, who is the brick wall goalie of that boys lacrosse team. So congratulations to Parker at the table here. On Friday, April 26th, a group of 7th grade students from Sparta Middle School traveled to the Sparta Glen to participate in an Arbor Day event hosted by Sparta Environmental Commission and the Wallkill River Watershed Management Group. Students participated in several hands-on activities throughout the day, including the planting of 75 trees along the riverbank. We extend a sincere thank you to these county organizations for putting together such a meaningful and fun experience for our students. On this evening's agenda, you will see a recommendation for the board to approve a contract with Aptigee. After much research and collaboration with our IT department and a board committee, we have decided to move to a new platform for our district website and communications. We are excited to work with Aptigee in the process of creating a new website, which offers a new design and many new options for district communications, including a new district app. The goal is to have the website and all components up and running for the start of the 24-25 school year. On Tuesday evening, I, along with a group of board members and administrators, had the honor of attending the annual Academic Excellence Dinner at the Lafayette House. At the evening's event, our top 10 graduating students from the senior class were honored, along with a teacher they selected who has made a great impact during their time in Sparta schools. I want to take a moment to recognize these students and thank the Board of Education and Administration for the great event. The students, in alphabetical order, are Ian Bellish, Charles Canzaniero, Ashley Crane, Dana Dunbar, Kylie Mangone, Cassidy Pry, Michaela Ricci, Sarika Selvaraj, Dean Stas, and Anna Yerofeev. Congratulations again to these students, and it's hard to believe that in less than a month we will be seeing them walk across the graduation stage with the rest of the Sparta High School class of 2024. In the beginning of the school year, at a Board of Education meeting, Mr. Benson presented our SSDS and HIB report card scores from the 22-23 school year that we would submit at the time to the Department of Education. The Department of Education has since approved and confirmed the scores for each school, and the final grades are now posted on our website. The Sparta Middle School Robotics Club sent Team 153D, the chosen ones, to compete in the prestigious VEX IQ World Championships in Dallas, Texas, from May 1st to May 3rd. The students proudly represented Sparta Middle School and competed among the best middle school teams from 50 countries around the world. Thanks to the support and generosity of club parents, community members, Bubba Coos Burritos, Jersey Mike's, the Sparta Benevolent Society, and Thor Labs, the Booster Club was able to fully fund student and coach travel and attendance at this contest. Lastly, I would like to wish all of our parents, students, and staff a very happy and strong finish to the 23-24 school year. Thank you all for your support throughout the year and for making this another successful school year. And I will pass it off to Ms. Rossi.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to first start by just drawing your attention to some items on the agenda tonight. You'll see that we're adopting and approving a new language arts program for grades K through 5. There will be the adoption of Amplify Skills for phonics development in grades K through 1, and a comprehensive language arts program for students in grades 2 through 5, also connecting those diverse and different schools where students transition in a very short period of time. So I want to thank the people who participated and collaborated on that committee. That included teachers and administrators. It was a very positive experience, and we were actually very fortunate in our work with the New Jersey Tiered System of Support Early Reading Grant, along with Rutgers, to actually be highlighted in our last session for this work. There are 12 other districts working in that cohort, and they acknowledged us for our high-performing practices, which include ample research, data analysis, classroom pilots, school visitations, and targeted focus groups. I also want to thank Mrs. Parisi, our pre-K through 5 ELA supervisor, for leading this important initiative. Also on the agenda, you'll see the adoption and approval of a new data platform being adopted. It's called EduClimber. We feel that data analysis is a critical component of making decisions for students and for programming. It's also a complex process, so we need something that is feasible, effective, and also efficient to help make that work as relevant and specific and meaningful as it can be. So I want to thank the teachers who participated, teachers and administrators on that committee as well, when we looked at multiple other platforms to make sure that this move was the most meaningful and helpful move for the district. Along those lines, I just wanted to provide some clarifying information regarding public comment from last meeting, where it was noted that our PSAT scores are lower than a neighboring school district. While I have a lot of information on our school performance, I haven't analyzed other districts to the extent as I know our own. Obviously, we look and make decisions and try to see what we can learn from partnerships. But after further exploration and research on that public data set that's available on the school performance reports, it's important that we consider all aspects of what creates that data. And so when we look at that neighboring school district, we can see great variation in participation rates. So at the state level, the state average for participation rates in PSAT assessments is 78%. In the neighboring district that is performing 12 points ahead of us on the PSATs, 32% of their students participate in the PSAT assessment. And in Sparta, 95% of students participate in that assessment and evaluation. So obviously that notes different complexities in analyzing and comparing school districts. We know that data isn't black and white. It paints a picture with many different perspectives, and those perspectives are important to consider. We do that. We look at our data in all kinds of different ways in comparison not only to the quantitative data that is measurable, but also the qualitative observations that we see that determine student proficiency and progress. So we're going to continue the good work that's happening. We're confident and we're seeing growth in our students in all kinds of ways. And we think some of these adoptions that you'll see on the agenda tonight will continue to help us move in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. I just want to touch on what Dr. Beck said with the top 10 dinner. I was present there. Obviously, yes, it's an academic achievement for these kids, and they're there because they work hard. But I think more importantly that night, it's what's taken is the staff members that they choose to represent them, and the ones that, I've been there a few years now, and seeing the same staff members year in and year out, and it speaks a lot for them to, they're motivating and really there for the kids. So I just want to recognize the staff members that were there as well as the students.
I have one little comment since we're talking about that briefly. I've been there a couple times now, and there are staff members who are repeats and staff members who are new and staff members who may never get invited, but the speeches that you hear, I really wish that more of the district could hear, because these teachers care incredibly about all of the students and the top 10 students, and it's really an amazing event to be able to witness and to see these teachers talk about these students and these students talk about these teachers. So again, it was a great event, and I'm really glad that it's a tradition here in Sparta.
Thank you, Wendy. Okay, can I get a motion to move the HIB report?
Motion.
Thank you, Craig. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Joanne?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes.
Mr. Pleshy,
Yes.
Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes. Delegate liaison reports.
I would love to touch upon the strategic planning committee that we were able to get started. We met on May 6th when we were looking to update things like our board mission statement and other things like that with measurable objectives. And fortunately, we were able to piggyback on our existing strategic plan goals. Dr. Becca also mentioned how building it, we're going to utilize building and admin teams that were already existing. And Dr. Becca is spearheading that part of the plan. And we have some tentative goals to present at the August board meeting. So coming into the new school year, we're going to come with new goals, and we're going to be refreshed and ready to go for our new students and new school year.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
We had the Township Board Liaison meeting, continuing to bounce ideas off of us and them and vice versa. There's nothing concrete to report on right now, but some things possibly in the works to report on shortly.
As Dr. Beck mentioned, we are moving forward with putting on the agenda the Apogee contract for the new website, and the communications committee met and had a very thorough demo with the team. We were very impressed with what they could offer the district in terms of taking on some of the heavy lifting. As you know, being budget conscious, we don't hire anybody to do communication specifically, and we rely on the great news that is shared in our district through our administrators, teachers, students, and staff, and as well as in the community. So we're looking forward to that website and really being able to tell the story of the district. And we think this will be an important piece to communicate out with our community with the upcoming referendum we have on the horizon, to really showcase everything we're doing in our schools, as well as to foster exceptional school-home connection through our website. So we're looking forward to that. I did want to draw everybody's attention to the what New Jersey School Board sent out as a recap for the delegate assembly. I did attend virtually. One resolution that was very interesting that was brought forward did involve the inclusion of intent in HIP cases, and so I would encourage everybody to take a look at that resolution 13 as it was listed. It was amended to be referred to a committee for them to look at further. But it's something that school boards face everywhere, where it's hard because it only takes into account one side. And there were many resolutions and a lot of healthy debate. So those are available to you to review, and they sent an email on that. As far as finance, you'll note there is a lengthy agenda. Most of this is related just to making sure that we can have an operational business office for for our upcoming school year. I did want to draw attention to subject 19.34 Sparta booster clubs, as I know there's been some concern about the quasi-entities being included. The HMS, all the PTOs and PTSDs are listed under that for inclusion. So that they're marked as insured and covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
I just want to chime in on two things. Number one, I wanted to apologize. Both Emily and I were unable to attend the CPAG meeting this month, but we both look forward to attending next. So I just wanted to thank them for sending over the information that we were able to obtain and make sure that we're still staying up to date, even though we weren't able to make it. And then also, just to touch on the district roundtable and what Chad spoke to about our new ad hoc committee, I really want to recognize the collaboration that's taking place with the board and the district and administration. I think we're making really good strides. I think there's a really nice shift in positive culture, which is appreciated, I think, by all. And I especially look forward to setting some concrete board goals over the summer. So thank you to Chad for leading that, and I'm sure Angela will have a better report on the district roundtable than I could. So,
can I just add on to that? While I wasn't able to attend the CPAG meeting, they had a transition night. They did send me the information, and I went through it, and it was really, really, I think, beneficial to students and families about transitioning from public school into higher education and accommodations that follow you and how to really advocate for yourself as a student in higher education. So I really just applaud the presentation itself and the information that was provided.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Moving on to public comment number 1. Public comments are invited on matters pertaining only to action items at this time. Please state the action item number as well as your name, municipality, or group affiliation if appropriate. For the record, each participant will be given 3 years to speak. 3 years. Try 3 years. Try it. 3 minutes to speak. Once you have your allotted 3 minutes to speak, you'll not be permitted to speak again until public comment number 2. All statements will be directed to me as a presiding officer. The board or the administration may or may not respond to any questions or comments at the conclusion of participation. Okay. Motion to.
Jenny Derrick's tapping to Sparta. I'll sign in a minute. Thank you for covering that. Are you going to be giving a more robust presentation of the whole report card? That wasn't on the agenda, but since you mentioned it, I wanted to appreciate. Thank you. 17.4, preschool providers. Do we have a list of people who we're providing? Do we have an idea of how many slots will be open that were not open this current school year? When will parents be notified? 1711 COPS grant, what will that be used for? And then the Eduline data analysis for students that was mentioned, is that to analyze the student data, the outcomes of the various assessments that we do? And how will that be reported out to the parents? Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to close? Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I can speak to the pre-K, the pre-K community provider. We are in the process of pre-K expansion, as everybody knows. We are adding one more classroom over at Helen Morgan, and then we have one community partner lined up for next year, and that community partner will be Goddard School with one classroom.
I can answer the other 2 questions. So school report cards there's not a requirement to present on them at board meetings, but to inform the community that they are available, released right now. So the 23, 24, the 22, 23 data is available on the New Jersey School Report Card website. Most of what's on there gets reported at different points in time. So our standardized test scores we do have to report on, and there is a lot of information built around that, including our demographics. That's also on the school report card. Trends in chronic absenteeism, school data in terms of population enrollment, so on and so forth, is all available on that report card, but it's not a presentation that is made typically. We do continue to report data. You talked about, I think EduClimber is the data assessment tool that we're using for next year. EduClimber is a facet of Renaissance. Renaissance is a platform we've been using for some time now. We use Star Reading and Star Math as our universal screening tool to look at students in different ways multiple times a year. This year, recently, was the first time we were able to get that data available to all families. So as we continue utilizing that screening tool, parents can see those populated scores on the Genesis Parent Portal. We also use that data we use multiple measures. So in addition to the STAR product and the screening data, the standardized test scores will be brought in there, so we'll be able to look at, and we are able to do that on our current platform, just not in an effective, efficient manner. Sometimes the data is inaccurate, and that's actually the number one problem, is that while we're filtering data to look at multiple measures to design programming and supports for students, it's obviously essential that data is correct, that gets brought into that platform, and that it's also user-friendly for staff to look at in addition to administrators. So there's a wide range of things we do to look at student data. As I said, making determinations about student supports, programming, monitoring those student supports so that we can make sure that adequate progress is being made, and looking at different populations to ensure that all of our students are being served in the most appropriate fashion. So we're looking forward to moving into that.
And last, the COPS grant is being written requesting funding for an upgrade of the PA system at the high school. It's being written, the COPS grant is being written to request funding for the upgrade of the PA system at the high school.
I believe there was also a question about parents being notified of the dates for the preschool. So the parents, in case I was misunderstanding the question, but regarding preschool, the parents have already been notified if they've been placed in the program, and we do have a waiting list that's available. I wasn't sure if the question was regarding this year or the expansion to next year's. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to personnel and policy. Before motion,
Yeah, two revisions for personnel and policy. I would like to table the security portion of 15.19, which is the ESY summer program. Table just the security portion. And then strike 15.37 totally. The original stipend is correct, and it was already split between two staff members. There was no need to split it once again, so we're striking that one.
okay, can I get a motion to move 15.1 to 15.36, removing the one item in 15.19?
Motion?
Thank you, Craig. Second?
Second.
Okay. Joanne?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes, as amended.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Pelesci,
Yes.
Ms. Seelander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino,
Yes, except item 15.4. Abstain.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes. Okay, can I get a motion to move curriculum 16.1 to 16.11?
A motion?
Thank you, Chad. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Emily. Joanne? Discussion? Joanne?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes.
Mr. Pelesci,
Yes.
Ms. Seelander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes. Motion for finance 17.1 to 17.18.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Thank you, Craig. Discussion? Joanne?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes.
Mr. Pelesci,
Yes.
Ms. Seelander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes. Operations 18.1 to 18.14. Need a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Discussion? Joanne?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes.
Mr. Pelesci,
Yes.
Ms. Seelander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino,
Yes.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Morris.
Yes. Item 19, renewals. Get a motion for 19.1 to 19.45.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Ms. Black?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Yes.
Mr. Pelesci,
Yes.
Ms. Seelander,
Yes.
Ms. Serafino?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes. Okay, does anybody have anything for old business? I do not.
I'd actually like to bring up our honoring student achievement policy, particularly the regulation. I think I'd like to see if we could put it, if the board could consider officially commemorating the top 10 dinner, the academic excellence dinner within regulation. I know we had adjusted that policy and regulation not too long ago. We've had some adjustments over time, but I think we've all come to see what a beautiful night it is for our students and staff, and I really would like to see that it is a tradition that's continued, and I think it's important that we continue, that we mention it within the regulation, so it's something that's always continued within Sparta tradition.
Yeah, I'll put that on the discussion for the next committee meeting.
So just to confirm, that would be a policy discussion then, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Policy / regulation.
Right,
yeah.
right, okay, making sure.
Okay. Moving on to public comment number. That was, oh yeah. New business. Okay. That's what she was saying.
This is going to be the item of new business. Resolved that the Board of Education affirms the finding of HIB in case number SMS 013124001 heard during this evening's executive session, and be it further resolved that the family shall be provided with a written decision along with information on their right of appeal.
We get a motion to move resolution.
Motion.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. Joanne?
Ms. Collier?
Yes.
Ms. Gagnon?
Yes.
Ms. McMichael?
Yes.
Mr. Pleshy?
Yes.
Ms. Sealander?
Yes.
Ms. Serafino?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
No. Okay, now moving to public comment number 2. The board uses second public comment period to invite comments on all matters pertaining to the school district. Please state your name, municipality, and group affiliation if appropriate. For the record, each participant will receive 3 minutes to speak. Once you have made the allotted 3 minutes to speak, you will not be permitted to speak again. All statements should be directed to me as presiding officer. The board or administration may or not respond to any questions, comments after the conclusion of public participation.
I already signed in, just so you know. Good evening. My name is Angela DeLucia, and I am the very proud president of the Sparta Education Association. As we approach the end of the school year, I'm very excited to once again share some good news. This evening, the Sussex County Education Association honored educators who have served 25 years in New Jersey public education from across the county. From Sparta, we celebrated Rusty Brown, Kathy Cahan, Pam Conlin, Dave DeCrescenzi, Amy Dolan, Lil Farrell, Christine Fleming, Mark Miola, Ari Reinstein, and Sue Soy. Little clap there, come on. 25 years. Each month I say this, but I'll say it again, the dedication of our members is second to none. A career in education is truly a calling, and these honorees have answered that call. The SCEA also sponsors an essay contest each year. My hero works at school. We receive hundreds of entries in 4 categories. This year's winners included 2 Sparta students and their heroes. Anthony Wallets from Helen Morgan School, who wrote about his hero, security guard Rob Kelly, right there. And Reina Santora from Sparta High School, who wrote about her hero, paraprofessional Diana Rodriguez. The winners and their heroes will be honored on the field at the Sussex County Minors game on June 1st. The Sparta Education Association would like to thank the Board of Education for expanding the lines of communication with us. The Ideas Committee, Innovative Discussions Empowering Ideas and Solutions, is a giant step to proactive solutions that will infinitely improve our district. Additionally, the SEA is very grateful that the board also views supporting our members in a time of crisis as a priority. While I hope we never have to utilize the Emergency Help Bank, its presence is invaluable. To say the month of May is busy in our district is an understatement. Concerts, AP testing, athletics, and events are buzzing in every single building, every single day. On behalf of all of our members, we are proud of our students, and we are proud of the work we do each day. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tara James. I'm a mom here in Sparta. So I'm here tonight to bring to your attention an incident that occurred in Sparta High School on January 2nd, 2024. My daughter, a senior in the high school, was assaulted by her ex-boyfriend, who is also a senior. The situation escalated after school, and unfortunately, she was assaulted again. The school was only made aware after the Township Police Department contacted them. This is concerning because the situation involving my daughter and this other student went on for over 20 minutes. School shootings happen in under 6 minutes. My daughter was unaccounted for in your school building for 20 minutes. This is alarming, as there are SROs, security officers, and teachers with whom I instill my trust in to ensure that my daughter is safe. Nobody intervened, nobody was aware. Her teacher didn't think to question why she wasn't in class. Her teacher didn't think to question why she showed up to class crying with a bloody mouth. This happened in the middle of the hallway. Where was everyone? Why is it when I had a meeting with administration following the incident, the principal wasn't present? Is this beneath him? Why is it that a male student can assault a female student and the situation is still handled as if it's 2 males or 2 females? How is a student allowed to continue to attend Sparta High School? I agree with the fact that he's entitled to an education. However, I cannot agree with the fact that my daughter has to show up to school and face the individual that assaulted her every single day. I respectfully ask all of the women that are sitting up on this board, how would you feel if you were a victim of domestic violence and you had to face the man that laid hands on you every single day? Are you aware that this student has 2 pending assault charges against him? Are you aware that he is facing a permanent criminal background? On April 29th, I submitted an OPA request as well as a common law request, requesting the camera footage of the incident. On the 7th business day, I received a denial, a very short and vague denial. It was stated that they could not provide the camera footage due to security measures and indicated that minors were present in the video. It should be noted, you cannot deny an OPA request for lack of a redaction software, meaning the minors' faces could have been blurred out. Furthermore, in my response, my common law request was never addressed. It should be noted, I completed the state standardized OPA request form. Page 3 of this form allows a requester to request records utilizing common law. A common law request outweighs the reasonable expectation of privacy. On my request, I indicated my common interest. I am the minor's mother, and we are going to trial. I want to make you all aware that I too fulfill OPA requests for a living, approximately 2,000 of them every single year. I tried contacting the business administrator's office twice following my denial. After leaving 2 voicemails, I spoke with the secretary who indicated both the BA and her assistant were in the office the last 2 days. This seems to be the trend. You hide. The principal was not present in the meeting, and now the BA's office was non-responsive. I then received a call from the superintendent. I asked him, are you aware of the incident? He mentioned he was, but not in the detail that I provided. I also asked if he was able to review the camera footage. Dr. Beck ended the conversation by asking if I have an attorney. What a disgrace. As a mom, I want answers. I want to know why my daughter was unaccounted for.
Miss, thank you. 3 minutes is up.
What are you guys going to do to ensure that this never happens again?
Thank you.
Jenny Derricks happened to Sparta. Do you have an update on the referendum? The strategic plan, is that something that you're building on from previous strategic plans, or are you creating a new strategic plan? Is there plans, as it has been in the past, to have representatives from the community, parents and residents, give input to the strategic plan? There's new facial recognition software at the schools. I didn't hear any discussion of that at the board table at any meeting. First, I want to thank Paula at the high school for her unending patience Every time I go there, there's a line of parents who need help getting through that process. It seems to be very wonky. What is the vendor doing with the data? Even at TSA, they don't do facial recognition screenings unless you're going international. What is the protections being given to the parents of the district and other residents for that data, for the facial recognition software images collected? Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could just start quickly to touch on our questions. Yes, we are building off the old strategic plan, and the community will be involved starting.
Yeah, just regarding that, the goals will remain the same. When we created a strategic plan, it was a 5-year strategic plan, so the goals will remain the same. Those goals were already based on community input. What we're doing now is what we've been doing, and that is going into the buildings with our building-based strategic planning teams and asking them to revisit and revise their building-based goals based on the broad-based district goals that were formed with the strategic planning process, which included community input. An update on the referendum is that the referendum, the initial stages are still moving forward. We hit a bit of a pause in the timeline, let's say, because we were trying to possibly work something else out that did not come to fruition. So it is now back on track. I just met with the architect last week, who will come up with a revised timeline of moving forward. And I sit here in front of my laptop looking at updates for the demographic study. A few questions from Dr. Grip, who is doing our demographic study that I'll, of course, will address. And the facial recognition software, that is, we had a new system replace our old Lobby Guard system. Lobby Guard was bought out by Raptor. The Raptor system was not functioning properly and did not have was not being supported properly with the software that we had. So we moved to a new platform, and we actually have some information on the facial recognition software that I can provide to you.
I just want to piggyback too off of what Chad said. It's really important to note that one of the main purposes is also to set board goals. So beyond the district goals that Dr. Beck spoke to, we're really trying to hone in on having measurable goals for the board itself, because that's something that hasn't been done for a minute, and we want to make sure that we're prioritizing that, and not just prioritizing the goals themselves, but communicating them to the public, so the public is aware of the goals that the board has set. So just to clarify, that's an important element of what we discussed at length that day.
Okay. Motion to close public comment.
Motion.
Thank you. Craig, second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to the good of the order. I again just want to touch on the lacrosse success for both boys and girls. When's your next state game?
I think it's going to be next Wednesday against Warren Hills at, I want to say 4:30.
Home?
Not 100%, but most likely the next 3 games will be at home.
Okay. Good luck. To the girls, whoever's watching, good luck. That's all I have.
I actually called Miss DeLucia, Angela, so I apologize when I was first talking about the district roundtable. And I also called the district roundtable instead of ideas. So for both, I apologize.
How are those shirts coming? Nice. Okay, if no one has anything else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming.